Hey, good morning, everyone. It's 9:50. We are on July 26th, which makes day 42 here in Malaysia. I've been really slow rolling these last 2 days, not making a lot of kilometers. So yesterday I stuck with it all the way into dark. Not the best idea in the world. Because once it goes dark, it's very, very hard to find a camping spot. But this just popped up, and yeah, I got really lucky with this spot, being up on the hill and stuff, right on the outskirts of the graveyard here. I'm not actually in the graveyard, but I'm so close to it, I might as well be. It's an unnamed graveyard, by the way. I tried looking it up so I could actually tell you where I'm at. Google Maps, when I say weather in my location, to find out my location, it says I'm in the Port Dickson area, but actually a little more accurate than that. Hopefully the Wi-Fi is not affecting the sound. I don't know until later. But outside of that, I'm in, hang on a sec. Lukut. Yeah, I'm in a spot called Lukut. I'm like actually right on the border. The districts, or whatever they call them here, are very small here in Malaysia. They're not quite like the other countries where they take up a large area. They section these areas in Malaysia a lot smaller, so it's very easy to kind of figure out where I'm at. Or you could just get into the description of all my videos, has the folder of the country that I'm actually traveling through. So if you want to see everywhere I was in Vietnam, go to one of the Vietnam videos, go in the description of that video, pull up my, it's a Google Maps journal of my travels, and each blue dot is where I actually either camped or the hostel I stayed at. So if it's like right outside the door of a hostel, that's the hostel I stayed in. I don't actually highlight the hostel itself or the hotel itself, because then you end up getting all the pictures and all the description of the place and the notes I put in my notes. What I did for the day, I date it and everything like that. So that's why I call it a journal. That just gets lost in all the other garbage. Plus, if in the future, if that place actually closes down, I'm not sure exactly how that affects me saving it into my files. So I just end up putting the blue dot right outside the place. So any of you guys that might, I'm not sure, Doug, if you're actually starting to keep a Google Maps journal or not, from Planet Doug. He's one of the few people I know for a fact that actually went through and read it all and found it very interesting that someone was actually doing that. And it was just something I slowly found out myself. You know, it's something I discovered. It wasn't something I learned from someone else. It was just, I just started dropping, like I think in Morocco, each place I was, you know, not each place I was at, just but each city. But then over in Spain, I dropped it at every spot I was, but I wasn't keeping notes. And then it wasn't until I went over to Japan, because I looked at the folder for Spain, and I saw how beautiful it was, because I was walking the Camino, every little blue dot showing me, you know, my progress all the way across this walking from France to the coast of Spain. And I thought it was such a cool idea. But then in Japan, I started keeping notes, and then the whole concept of actually having a Google Maps journal actually kind of evolved out of, you know, organically by itself, you know. And it's actually really handy, guys, because you always have it. You switch phones, you'll just have it on that one, because it uses your email address, you know. And it's not really taking up any, I don't think it's taking up any space on your phone. I think that's cloud-based, but yeah, it has to be, because if you switch phones. Anyway, so yeah, I'm actually 5 kilometers from the coast of Port Dickson. I don't know anything about Port Dickson, but that's kind of how it is. That's how I've been rolling. This was an excellent camp spot. I'm keeping this up for the shade. It was possibly, there was a 40% chance of rain last night, so I put this up, the big one. This turned out pretty good. Usually when you go for long distances, the rope stretches more and everything sags more, so you have to put it up, your hammock up higher, because through the night it starts going down farther and farther. Everything starts stretching, and eventually, if it's not high enough, before you know it, you're laying on the ground with the ants. But yeah, this turned out actually pretty decent. Good view. Good weather actually last night. I learned my lesson over on more Beach though, because Doug gave me a heads up that it was raining in Sumatra, and that it could, jump the water over onto this side. And so I put up my tarp, and sure enough, it rained that morning, which was nice because my tarp was up. But I've not had my tarp up, my rain fly up before, and there's nothing worse than waking up, because it's usually the sound that'll usually get you, right? Before the wet does. And then you jump up trying to get everything up, but by the time you do get it up in a panic, one, it's not up good because you're putting it up in a panic, and two, you're already wet, and it's hard to sleep even in warm weather. It's kind of hard to sleep wet, it's not fun. But so I think I learned my lesson on that. I'm going to put up my rain fly regardless if I need it or not. A lot of people don't like to have the rain fly on because it blocks your view from, the surroundings, like the stars, and, it takes away from the enjoyment of actually hammock camping a little bit. But nothing takes away the enjoyment of hammock camping more than being wet and miserable. So anyway, yeah, that's something I'm learning, I've only started actually hammock camping since Japan. So before this, I'm a tent person. And honestly, tents are easier to set up. It's easier to find locations for tents by far than it is a hammock. Because people are like, well, hammocks, you don't need an even ground. Well, yeah, you kind of do. You really do. You can't just throw it up in a bunch of thick jungle, with snakes and everything like this. And if the ground's not, even, then, where are you going to put your stuff? And yeah, it's a requirement for the hammock is more than it is for a tent. That's how it is. So, rethinking the whole thing, I like hammock camping, but if you want more versatility, definitely a small little pup tent is the way to go. Now that way you can just, you have a lot more options for camping. You just do. But but it doesn't mean, if you don't put in a little more effort, you will find a spot, and you can be very creative. And that's probably what my problem is I just need to be a little more creative. I'd probably figure out twice as many spots to actually hang a hammock if I just actually use my brain a little more. Okay, sorry, that's a hobo ramble. Well, not really, because it wasn't a story. It was just me talking. Yeah, today I didn't edit yesterday's video, so I'm going to get down to the beach or something like that and just find a spot to kick up my feet, have some caffeine, and start editing yesterday's. Yeah, there wasn't much to say or do yesterday. This is 3 days camping, which is good. I just keep camping and using my data to put up the videos. And before I forget, I want to thank some people real quick that for the donations. I don't know how far along I've gone. So I'm just going to roll back everybody from last month, from June. So I have Lawrence, John, and Damien. I'm pretty sure I thanked you guys already for June, but I just want to be on the safe side and say thank you. David, I got yours donation last week, and I'm not sure if you want me to say Tony. Tony, I did actually get your donation and your email, and I appreciate both of them. Thank you, my brother. I read both, and yeah, I do appreciate all these. And the donation did come from your company, which is Asili LLC. Wasn't sure if you wanted me to mention that. It's ASELE LLC. But I have no problems mentioning a person's company name if they're part of my channel, and I've done it before and stuff like that. So I don't figure that's a promotion at all. But if it helps out a company, it does. Like Sports Fabric. I remember a while back I mentioned Sports Fabric just because he was one of my longtime watchers. I haven't heard from him in a while, so but that's all right. I'm not going to start rambling. I'm going to start to pack up everything, guys. It's probably going on 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's going on 10 o'clock. And I'm going to hit the road, go down to the beach, and start doing some editing. All right. That's not good. I got tears in the pants. The pants are falling apart, but that's what the dental floss and the sewing needles are for. And I think I almost put a hole in that. You gotta be careful about that. Yeah, just doing some battle repairs right now. Things like this is what slows me down, but nah, I go slow anyway. I've repaired these shorts quite a few times. The back pocket mostly, because this is a thinner material. That way it dries out faster and breathes better. And unfortunately, they also wear down a lot faster. The thinner material wears down a lot faster. So, a little dental floss and a canvas needle, small canvas needle. Alright, that's all there was to it. Not too bad of a job. Hey, can you see that? Anyway, that's the outside. The pinch, I've had better pinches, but it doesn't matter. You're supposed to see the threads, And this is the back pocket that I keep sewing up because the buttons on my chain wallet, I wear a chain wallet everywhere because when I used to hop the trains and stuff, when you're kind of crawling into like the back of the grainer or whatever like that, not too bad of a problem because you're usually on a flat platform. But some of the other ones that you can ride, stuff can fall out of your pockets. And yeah, I've had a bottle of vodka go down below the train while it was parked. I was like contemplating shimmy up under it while it's parked and trying to figure out. This was like in the middle of the Sierra, the Mojave Desert. It stopped at a place called, I think, Troy or something, way out there in the middle of nowhere, a little town that died off. But it was early enough in the morning, it was super hot. And yeah, I think my bottle of vodka, is a small one that was in my back pocket, went down and stuff. And that's the reason why you never want your wallet to go out. So yeah, always wear a chain wallet, that way you don't lose it. And yeah, so I've always worn a chain wallet. It didn't start that way. It started because I was a skateboarder, and I've pretty well always used a chain wallet before, had one before, but I found out the benefit of a chain wallet is when you start dropping stuff out of your pockets when you're on the train. And yeah, so that was like, oh yeah, I'm always going to keep a chain wallet on me. So there you go, future travelers, get a chain wallet. Unless you're a girl and get a chain purse or something, I don't know. I don't know what the alternative for women are. All right, guys, it's 10:30. I'm gonna start packing up camp and get going. I just need to sew that up, and I'll probably need to sew it several times later, eventually, because this is really starting. Yeah, holes are starting to eat through the butt and everything. That's what I got the sewing kit for. All right. And that's where I stayed last night. Well, and the power lines behind it. Well, we made it to the water down here in Port Dickson. Actually, the place I was planning on staying is right there. I think this thing that comes out right there is called the Wrench. And there's a small little park. I'm going to double back. And I'm going to double back and go see the park that I was planning on staying at. Even though I found a nice, beautiful spot at the graveyard. I actually was only 5 kilometers from this, so I'm gonna see what I might have missed. Because, like I said, from Street View, exploring it in Street View, it looked pretty nice. There's some covered areas just in case it rained. But the spot I got was very nice, so I'm not complaining at all. I'm just, since I'm this close to it, I'm curious. So yeah, we're down here on the shores of the Port Dickson area. Might be able to get there this way. No. There we go. So this is the park I was scoping out yesterday. Yeah, I got one person over there already enjoying my same idea. Quite a few dogs. Yeah, this would have probably been a pretty nice spot to camp too. There's a lot of dogs here. That right there is called the Wrench. That little rock thing sticking out. Doggy dog. Quiet little beach. That's the wrench. That little rock thing. You can see it from Google Maps. It looks like a wrench. All right, well, I'm actually kind of glad I stayed where I stayed because this looks a little too, like too many people already camp here. So I have the privacy of being up on that hill in a private spot. So yeah, I'm glad I chose that spot over this. So, but this is still nice out here. I mean, there's a reason people are camping out here. So, all right, I'm gonna hit the road and see how many more kilometers I can put down today. One last thing, explore the wrench. I can tell you to get on Google Maps and look at the satellite view otherwise, or I could just get out here and show you why it's called a wrench. So yeah, this is the reason why. I think it's just a drainage pipe that they cover up with boulders. It's just in the shape of a wrench. Let's look around real quick. See if I'm right. Yeah, it's just a drainage. It's just a drainage ditch that they covered up with rocks. All right. Well, I gave up my other pump that had a blown hose for the smaller portable, small capacity pump. But the thing is, I have a slow flat in this back. I'm hoping it's the difference in the temperature, but nah, it's a little too much though. Thing is, this is a little too small of a capacity, man. The other one was already rusted and had a blown hose and everything, so I decided to try a small one that attached to my frame, but it's just a little too small. I need the next step up. This would take forever. I mean, it is taking forever. Anyway. That's what I'm doing. Another slow flat. Man, I looked away for 1 second to put my camera in my pocket, and I turned back around and it's like this. I'm not sure if this thing's leaking or if that just got a lot worse. But I mean, I just turned around and it went flat. Ah! Hey guys, I just did a whole big old ramble just to find out that only the first like 5 seconds of the whole thing just got recorded and the rest didn't. So let me run over what that update was real quick and what I was griping about or spewing out my mouth or whatever is what started as like a very small like errand of maybe going and pick up some Fix-A-Flat, fill up my tire, get a bigger capacity pump from, you know, because that small one was the one that was leaking the air. It wasn't leaking the air, the fitting wasn't like screwed down on tight enough, so when I stopped pumping it let out the air. So it wasn't the tire. The tire held until I got over to Mr. DIY. So that's a good thing. So that's one good thing. But what started as just a simple task turned into multitask. You know, it was like all of a sudden I was like, oh, you know what? I need to replace my tools. One is because they're full-size tools, and my where I'm carrying them is on my new top bar bag. I think that's what it's called. It's like looks like pannier bags for like the top bar. Panniers. Panner bags for the top bar. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so I ended up picking up, since it's Mr. DIY, I'd replaced the old rusty ones that are full size with smaller, newer ones, but they still are cheap tools. So yeah, so I got some smaller ones that fit in the bag better, but the ones I need, like the needle nose, are for removing the debris from my tire after I get a flat, which is a must. The wrench, the adjustable wrench, is just for the oddball size. They're terrible to use because they're always loose and they're not an exact fit. So we'll end up stripping out whatever nut if you overuse it anyway. But they are for they're good in a pinch. And yeah, some pliers. I got some very small pliers just to have. So fixed flat. Decided to fill it up in front of the DIY, and I let out all the air first. That way I get the full amount of the fix-a-flat in it. And as I'm filling it up, I try to untwist it. But as I'm untwisting it, it's squirting out because now it's loose fit, right? And it's just, it got to where I couldn't turn anymore because it's slick and I couldn't get it off. So it's shooting out the air and the fix-a-flat all at the doorway of the Mr. DIY, which is a big open doorway, and they're all kind of staring at me. And it's just getting all over the parking lot, but the sidewalk, the parking lot. So then the screw part of the can, it broke off and it stuck on my valve, and I had to take off the valve, and it was just a mess. And it was like, luckily I bought some hand wipes for cleaning up when I can't do a shower. Yeah, so while I'm doing that, my my pants, what I sewed this morning, it blew the stitches because the fabric's too thin. It's too old and too thin, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So eventually it was like I pretty well lost the whole knee. I lost the whole knee pretty well. So I was like, I could sew it again, but it's not going to hold the stitches. So I need to get a patch, which I couldn't find a patch anywhere. So I was like, I'm just going to replace them with something thicker, something that could hold a stitch. Yeah, I couldn't find the patches. I guess I could just use any material off the ground I find, but yeah, I've done that before. But I was just like, yeah, just replace them. Stop being such a cheapskate. I still, yeah. So anyway, I got some better ones. Like still brown to hide the dirt, but yeah, I had to cave in and do that. Yeah, why am I saying all this? Because Port Dickson was only 5 kilometers from my camp spot, and so for being only 5 kilometers away, at 1472, so that's almost 15. That's almost it's about 9 kilometers of running around just doing what I have to do. So yeah, that's how much running I did. -5 from that, that's how much I've actually been running around. And that's just here. I did have to go across town to actually get to the DIY, so a lot of that was the traveling, but yeah. So anyway, new pants, had to buy them. Got the new pump, got some new tools. I don't know. I didn't keep the receipts on those. I just bought the cheapest and hope for the best. But it was stuff I needed. So yeah, I'm very, very, very slowly slugging along these last 3 days, not getting much. I actually got 50 just because I had 50 kilometers plus because I just kept going into the dark. But I shouldn't do that. I need to find a good camping spot before it goes dark. One, because it was kind of dangerous on the road. I need something that's reflective to wear at night if I actually do that. not rely on just that little flashing red light in the back. So I need to get like a vest or something. Maybe do reflective tape on my bicycle, because I'm not really trying to hide. You know, I'm more of that right in the open type of guy. Sometimes when I'm camping, I don't know, I go back and forth from, you know, trying to be stealthy to actually just right in the open. So both have their benefits, both have their disadvantages. But anyway, that's it, guys. That's why. So I really haven't gotten far at all. It's I'm waiting for it to cool down. I'm eating a nasi lemak from KFC with the potato balls and having a soda, and then I'm going to start heading down the coast on my bicycle, and yeah, and eventually I'll get back in the groove of actually moving quicker. Anyway, that's the update, guys. I hope I recorded it this time. I did. 7 minutes. All right. Bye. All right, it is 4:20. I'm about ready to hit the road, guys. There is KFC. And let's see how far we can push our way out of Dickson. A side trip. Hey. Pretty good. How you doing, brother? Just a little side trip to go check out the shoreline here. I should mark it down where this is at. I can add it to the captions. Spot to get something to drink. Huh. Okay, back on the road. $1,250 fine for camping. This is Port Dickson Beach. Sorry, I had to turn around here. Just coming down to film it actually, and I saw that sign, so yeah, maybe not on this beach. $250 is a little expensive for me. Then again, a lot of those signs are just signs, you know. If you're tucked away, most likely you can get away with it. What I mean by just signs is they're like the ones that are like $10,000 fine and up to 5 years in prison for littering or whatever, but you never see that actually happen. But then again, they could be serious about it. But it's kind of nice. I'm going to take a peek at the beach. And another beach here in Port Dickson. I think it's called Pantaya Senjana or something like that, but I noticed right over this way, that little part that sticks out in the water is a campground. It's a H&N campground, but looking it up on, looking it up on Google Maps, it's a pay-for campground. So I'm going to get a little outside of town anyway, and then figure out where I'm going to camp. Looks like about an hour and a half before sunset, so I just wanted to pull over and check out this park. They had a restroom I could use and stuff. They actually had a shower, but I was thinking about it until I went into one, and there's a dirty diaper in it. I was like, I'll pass on the shower. Plus, I'm just going to get sweaty again anyway. But dirty diapers are not my thing. So yeah, it's a nice little park here. Shops across the street. And these streets are busy. It's hard to find a break in the traffic to actually run across. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to hop back on my bike. I'm going to go look for one last spot. There's a possibility of picking up a data card. I should have done that when I was down in the actual town, Port Dickson. I'm more on the outskirts, but I'm not going back. So there looks like there's one last spot I can actually go to coming up here in 4 kilometers. So hopefully I'll get there before it closes. It's 5:45 right now. I'm not sure if they're an early closer or not. So anyway, guys, that's just me hanging out at passing through another park here. In Port Port Dickson. I was passing by the campground and I realized it's several campgrounds actually, I think, strung out together. So I'm peeking in here anyway, seeing what all this is. I know some of them are day campers, but this is a nice little area. Washroom, restroom. Yeah, like I said, there's several of them listed here as campgrounds. One, the little one that was on the part that jetted out, I know that one's paid for. I'm not sure about the rest of these. These look like public areas. Some of them are listed as campgrounds. This one's got to be a park. Which means free campground. Free campground. Just that's a nice park. I know I'm supposed to actually be riding right now, but I didn't want to miss everything just by zooming by it, so I'm kind of doing a little exploration too. This looks like this is closed off, whatever it used to be. What's it say on the side over there? There's one person on it, but yeah, it doesn't look like too many people were too worried about this. Let's see. I'm just going a little ways out on it. I'll turn around and go back. Kids fishing out here. That's a nice park. It really is. Anyway, it is roped off, so I don't want to trespass too far. A little way's not bad to just do some filming. That's probably why it's closed right there. See, it's right there underneath. It's breaking away and falling down. Yeah, just a little unsafe. Okay. And further down that way is just a whole whole groups of just people camping, like almost like a city of tents. So that's what made me come over here and see what was going on over here on this side. So yeah, like I said, I saw that and decided I'm gonna pull in and find out what this is. So anyway, I gotta hit the road. I know I keep saying that. I keep getting sidetracked, so. So there's a change of plans, like always. So I'm looking at this other campground and why that area is so busy over there, and why it's like packed out like a city. And I'm finding out it's a free campground. That's the reason why. It's got a bathroom and everything like that, but it's a free campground. So everybody's there because of free campground. So that means pretty well any of the surrounding areas around it too are going to be, you know, good on the camping. You know what I'm saying? So like if I'm a little farther outside of the big group of people right there and on the outskirts of them, but it's still in the general area. So I'm assuming like probably this whole area, like you can see the bridge that I was just kind of trespassing on over there through the trees. It's right there through the trees. So I'm assuming probably I can get away with any of these tree lines here and stuff. And I'll have a bathroom and everything. So what I'll do is I'll just go, since it's been just a day of just running around everywhere, I'll just kind of go pick up some more water and stuff like that, and just plan on camping here somewhere amongst the trees. So anyway, yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna go pick up some agua right now. Agua, water. So to give you kind of an upper view of what I was talking about, the campground, this is just the very end of it here. My bike's right there by the wall. I went across the street because I mean, this is actually literally right here in town. So you got like 7-Eleven and KK Mart over there. And then you have this big free, which is very nice, free camping area. That's why it's so popular. And this goes on for a while. It does. This stretches for a while. I was like, wow, this is a big old campground. Well, I know why. It's on the beach. The beach is fairly clean for a free campground. Yeah, you know. So instead of being right in the mix with everybody right here, I'll just be a straggler on the ends. All I need is 2 of these trees. But yeah, it looks nice. And I'm not going to pass that up. The opportunity to have a free campground like this doesn't come that often. So I'm going to probably go back in the trees a little. It was coming from this direction back, you know, so yeah. And I think the bathrooms are probably down that direction, but that's all right. I'd rather be on the outskirts where I get a little bit more of the not privacy, but just more privacy. So let's see if I can find some trees, guys. It's camping again tonight. See, what I'm thinking about is right on the other side of this small little ditch here. You see like one person camping there, one person chopping firewood. Looks like we got another day camper right there, camper. But yeah, find some trees right over here. Because it looks like the biggest group of the people are just right here. I'm assuming on the other side that ditch, technically it's not the campground, but I don't see any signs that say no camping. So it's not posted. Let's see what the beach is like. Yeah, it's a nice little swimming beach. Oh yeah, this looks nice here. Yeah, this is fairly clean for being a free beach. Not like some of them I saw in Vietnam. some of those are bad. Yeah, this is nice here. Even if I was camping amongst everybody else, it would be still a sweet spot. Actually, it might be nice actually just posting up amongst everybody else too. Yeah, guys, I'm just taking you for a walk through the campground. That way you guys can explore it with me. Some of this stuff gets a little dragged out and tedious, but sometimes I like to just walk and hold the camera and not do much talking. They renting tents out? Almost looked like he had a sign on it, one of the tents, like he was renting it out with his WhatsApp number and all that on it. Oh, that's that one of my friends had that one. It's like a 2-bedroom one. That one's huge. That's luxury. What is this? Any of you? I don't know. Are they advertising that to rent it? So I guess that would be legal anyway, even if it was like a free campground. You could set up a tent and fix it up real nice and rent it out, right? I mean, I don't see why you couldn't. It's actually kind of genius, you know? I mean, it wouldn't be any different than selling like ice cream or something. You just kind of wonder if you had to have a license or something for that. Anyway, guys, that's kind of a walkthrough. I haven't seen the bathrooms yet. People selling some stuff. Hello. Yeah, it's kind of nice. More of the fisherman area over here. Nice old shack. And get a nice picture of that. That's awesome. Alright, time for me to take a picture of this guy. Hey.
Baik orang binatang, berapa ekor semua datang sini. Baik orang binatang.
Now this obviously isn't the same as the campground, so kind of guess we wandered from one area into another area. Well, it looks like there's still people camping here. It's just not as busy as the other section. I got a little restaurant set up and everything. And this DJI is just like all over the place. It's following its own thing. It's actually doing a pretty good job. It's just trying to... It's twisting all over the place here. So, let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Okay, that was cool. Walking out to this little thing right here on the little peninsula, little rock peninsula. Probably another drainage ditch or something they covered up with rocks or something like that. But yeah, no, that was a cool walk through the ever-changing from tents to little fisherman village to well, back to tents again. But yeah, no, this is a kind of a cool little area. I'm glad I decided just to go ahead and stop since, you know, I came so far. I almost cringe to look at how many kilometers I might have done today. I don't think it's been more than 20. Let's see. Let's go ahead for just at 26 kilometers. I guess that's not like super bad, but it only took me all day to get there. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna set up my tent. I'll do some closing remarks and stuff, and maybe get to editing one of these videos, either yesterday's, well, yeah, yesterday's, and yeah, and then yeah, put up my feet. All right, guys. A bathroom and a shower. I scored again. 1 ringgit. Take a shower. Forgot to bring my soap, but that's all right. I rinsed out everything, cleaned up got all the sweat out of my clothes, and Yeah, it feels good to actually get some clean water. I mean, especially after that. It's kind of warm today, but yeah, no, it's awesome. So I'm gonna go set up camp right now. And just for a time check, it's 6:49. So roughly maybe about 50 minutes before sunset. A little over an hour before sunset. I prefer to go by the fingers, that's more accurate. Yeah, okay. Now it's off to set up camp. Hopefully my bikes are still good. It is. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so I think I found the spot. So there's the main bulk of the people camping on this side. Kind of stops people from coming over here because this little drainage ditch here, but it's fairly easy to get across. And yeah, on this side, I think these are just day campers, but I don't know. But on this side, they have garbage cans. And this says like OBC something, what is a holiday villa. So it's like, we had that in Hawaii too. It's where the lifeguards and stuff would go hang out and stuff like that. It's actually owned by the state. I'm assuming that's probably the same thing this is. It's probably not occupied. It's probably just a hangout for, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because it's directly right in the park. There's nothing around it except for park. So this right here, I'm assuming is just for all the employees that work for the state and stuff like that. And they have a spot to come and have their barbecues and all this stuff, but I'm not gonna go poking in too much just in case I'm wrong. So you can see my bicycle over there. That's marking my area that I'm gonna be camping at. And yeah. There's some lights that come on at night. You might see them right here on the beach. But they're pointing towards the beach, not towards this area, so it should be dark enough. I got my own garbage can right there. And these are the two trees I'm going to be using. That one. And this one. I do believe it's 8 paces. So, right in the sweet spot. So, 8 paces. I'm going to get to hanging. All right. Perfect. Look at that. Feet flat on the ground. Awesome. Heck yeah, that's exactly what I need. And these. A good size too. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and some stragglers. Yeah, good. That's all I need. So I don't have to make any stakes. Well, there I am right there. Even with the low light setting on, I couldn't really pick up my my tarp. So yeah, everything's a little strung out because I just finished setting up. I put some white plastic bag on the string, so anybody at night might not stumble into it. Yeah. So there's my setup, guys. And I'm up underneath here. So, yeah, and the area I'm in, this is with the low light setting on. That's why I turned on my headlamp. And yeah, kind of hard to see. Anyway, I'm gonna cook some dinner. I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits for the night. I got a few people that are joining me. I don't know how long they're staying, but if they stay all night, definitely those people look like they're staying all night over there. Not sure about these people right here, but yeah, the more the merrier, you know what I'm saying? It's easier to get lost in a crowd when everybody's doing it, and I don't think there's any problems. The only part I saw no camping was way on the other side, so they probably just didn't want anybody camping over there because they don't want the whole beach to be camping, you know. So I didn't see any located over here. And like I said, this is sweet, man. That's 3 sweet. This is 3 in a row now. Yeah, so 3 sweet spots in a row. So yeah, I'm stoked. I might not be getting far, but I'm really finding some really great camping areas, so that makes up for it. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodnight, y'all. And I'm gonna get to working. One, getting to cold soaking some top ramen and garlic and all that stuff, and 2, trying to play some catch-up work on all of my editing and stuff. I'm behind by, well, now it's gonna be 2 days. So anyway, y'all, peace out and good night, and we'll continue the journey tomorrow, see where we go. All right, bye.